Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon Frayne. We are back talking about Bittensor TAO. Once again, what's happening in the AI space. We're going to give you all of the updates. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below, guys. Hit that subscribe button as well. And if you want to get notified, smash that bell notification icon. And don't forget to grab your completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It's linked below this video. Grab it now, 100% free. My gift to you. And let's talk about Bittensor. So we've been covering Bittensor extensively here on the channel for the past year or so. Check out the other videos. I will leave links at the top of the screen here for you to suss them out. But we have had some very interesting price action for Bittensor over the past few weeks. And I think it's quite timely talking about Bittensor in the context of a lot of the stuff happening with DeepSeek and the artificial intelligence narrative over the past couple of weeks. So again, if you're not up to speed, we've seen DeepSeek, this R1 model, coming out to kind of say that they were able to train this new model at a fraction of the cost that ChatGPT and OpenAI was able to do it. It is emerging that a lot of that has actually been maybe falsely reported. They're not being honest with some of the numbers and some of the capex that was spent to actually train those models. And we're seeing the markets kind of reacting to that a little bit. And then there's also news about these tariffs for, the Mexico and Canada tariffs happening from the US, causing a little bit of FUD in the markets at the moment as well. But what's happening here? What's really happening with DeepSeek? The open source stance that they're taking to creating this model and making it publicly available for people to use, I think it harkens back to the kind of open source, on-chain type of artificial intelligence that Bittensor TAO has been building out for the past couple of years. And again, I do think it's macro bullish for artificial intelligence in the long run. Yes, there might be a little bit of fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the short term here with what we're seeing in the markets, but the cost to be able to produce these models, the cost that it's going to be for businesses to create new refined single use case artificial intelligence is going to drop dramatically, I think, over the coming years, months. It's going to be months, I think, before you see this. Well, it's going to be as soon as months for seeing some of these costs come into play. And ultimately, that means that we're going to see maybe almost like a Cambrian explosion of innovation happening in the artificial intelligence space when it comes to all of these different types of models in an open source fashion. And when you think about the narrative here for AI agents in the entire crypto space, I think Bittensor TAO is kind of right at the intersection of everything happening there from a macro perspective, with artificial intelligence on chain in an open source fashion with all of the subnets and the kind of almost neural network slash swarms that all of the different subnets create for the Bittensor network as a larger whole entity. So again, if you're not familiar with Bittensor, guys, I would encourage you to come over and check it out. Very interesting stuff being built on Bittensor from a technical perspective, but also engineering incentive mechanisms for how the network can continue to grow by subnets competing against one another, essentially to earn TAO, but also to provide the most reliable information and the most valuable information to the network as a whole that continues to help it grow. Lots of incentive mechanisms built in to their UMA consensus, and a lot of the tenets taken directly from Bitcoin with regards to its fixed supply and the way that the halving and emission schedule is created. So very interesting stuff happening on Bittensor TAO. We have done a previous technical breakdown on the channel. I will leave a link for it in the top of this video, so check it out on the channel if you want to as well, guys. But price action has been mixed over the past couple of months. You can see that we've pretty much been moving sideways. We initially got back up above this kind of $370 level here towards the middle of September. We had the rate cut happening here around the 17th, 18th of September with the FOMC meeting, and artificial intelligence tokens, just like Bittensor, were some of the first to make a big move to the upside in the aftermath of those rate cuts. Again, we got up to these levels, going as high as about $680 here before a little bit of a pullback, moving again, getting as high as about $750. and then moving sideways and pulling back, retracing over the course of December and January. So we're sitting at this kind of key level of support here. Again, if I'm extrapolating this out and looking at this particular level, I could bring us all the way over here. Let me remove that. If we're looking at this particular trend line, we could extend it out here. Not sure why that keeps happening. We could bring this particular trend. Okay, let's forget about that. But essentially what I'm seeing is a decent level of support here on the chart. We're obviously moving to test that even as we speak with today's daily candle. We've managed to hold this level at around $350 over the past number of months. So I would like to see us holding at that level and not breaking down below it. You can clearly see we've moved below the 200-day simple moving average over the past few days once again. I would definitely like to see us try and hold this level around $350, $355 per TAO token and consolidate here before making a move to the upside. We are seeing that Bitcoin is back down at 98.6 right now, so there is a little bit of uncertainty about the markets here at the time of recording this video. We're about to head into a new week, and we are going to have the tariffs happening on Mexico and Canada. That's causing a little bit of uncertainty in the markets for crypto, and maybe that's a sign of what's going to happen in the morning when we see the markets opening for the stock market, S&P, Nasdaq, etc. So again, a little bit of uncertainty in the short term, but I think when you realize and understand the open source nature of what DeepSeek is trying to create, and how Bittensor has also been working on that from an on-chain perspective for the past couple of years, I do think macro bullish sentiment is warranted when it comes to Bittensor, and I do think we'll see a lot of growth for this over the coming number of months and years. But I think as we see, and as we always talk about, potentially a market cycle with global liquidity peaking somewhere in Q4 of 2025, maybe even a little bit into 2026. We have to wait and see. We could be in for some very interesting price action for Bittensor over the rest of 2025. Again, this is not financial advice, guys. Check it out for yourself. Make sure you do the research. Today's video is sponsored by Phemex, the most efficient crypto trading and investment platform. And yes, of course, Bittensor TAO is available for purchase and trading over on Phemex. Check it out for yourself. I'm leaving a referral link in the description below of this video for Phemex. And now the moment you've been waiting for, guys, an updated price target for Bittensor TAO. I do think the artificial intelligence narrative is not going away just yet. And again, you've got the biggest companies in the world: Apple, Google, Facebook, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, all of these companies trying to earn their share of the artificial intelligence revolution. And that macro narrative coming into crypto, I think, serves to benefit Bittensor and the other leading AI tokens in this space. So again, we do have to plug in some variables into our price target equation. The total crypto market cap and the dominance level the TAO can get to are the two biggest variables that we have to account for. So we're using educated guesses here to try and fill those blanks in. But as you can see, in a bear case, what we're saying is the total crypto market cap could peak around $5 trillion US dollars. If TAO can get up to a 0.45% dominance level, that would give us a $22 billion market cap for Bittensor TAO by the peak of the cycle. And by Q4 of this year, we are going to have about 10.5 million TAO in circulation, so we have to account for that. But that would bring us out to a $2,142 price target for Bittensor TAO by the peak of the cycle in our bear case scenario. Next up, we've got our base case scenario. And in the base case, what we're saying is the total crypto market cap could peak closer to $7 trillion US dollars. If TAO can get up to a 0.65% dominance level, that's going to give us a $45.5 billion market cap for Bittensor TAO. And again, dividing that by about 10.5 million tokens brings us out at a $4,333 price target for Bittensor by the peak of the cycle. Finally, last but certainly not least, we've got our most bullish case scenario in our bull case, what we're saying is total crypto market cap could actually peak up closer to 9 trillion US dollars if TAO can get all the way up to a 0.85% dominance level, being a leading AI token in a leading narrative here in this cycle. That would give us a $76.5 billion market cap. Once again, dividing it by 10.5 million TAO tokens brings us out at a $7,285 price target per token by the peak of the bull run in our most bullish case scenario. Okay, obviously some of these numbers are quite high, guys. We got to remember the tokenomics at play here for TAO. There are only going to be ever 21 million TAO tokens, following a very similar trajectory to the supply cap that Bitcoin embodies. And again, we're going to have a halving event for TAO later this year, which means that we're going to have about 10.5 million in circulation by that time. But for that reason, the price target for TAO is much higher denominated in dollar terms because of its fixed supply. We got to remember that. We got to put that into context. Again, maybe that may not be a strong point for TAO when it comes to retail investors who might be, blinded by wanting to invest in tokens that have a perceived lower value because they're denominated in lower dollar terms because of a much, much higher supply. But we got to wait and see what happens. I think the tech underneath TAO with the subnets and everything that's happening there is really going to underpin the growth of the entire network when it comes to artificial intelligence. So let's wait and see. That is my price target update for Bittensor, guys, by the peak of the cycle. Drop me a comment below. Are you holding Bittensor? What price do you think Bittensor is going to by the peak of the cycle? I want to hear. Drop me a comment. Let me know. Make sure to please smash that thumbs up button on your way out the door. If you got any value out of this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification icon as well. And again, don't forget to grab your completely free copy, The Rise of Bitcoin. It's linked below the video in the description. Grab it now while it's free, and we'll catch you in the next one.